there we go. Get a sense of it. So for today, it's Easter Sunday, and we're going to be making a loaf in gravy. And this loaf is from Feinhorn Vegetarian Recipes. This is where this comes from, just so I'm giving credit where credit is due. Right over here we have all the ingredients out that we're going to be using, and as you can see, it's a fairly intensive production. It actually calls for 3/4 of a cup lentils, 3/4 of a cup brown rice, 3/4 of a cup millet, an onion, a carrot, 2 stalks celery. Oh, she's pushing her water dish. She does that when she wants to be, when she wants water. She's a very smart dog. She understands that pushing that is water. Yes, there we go. Hang on, Casa. The water's coming. Here we go. She's just smart. There you go. There you go. Okay, so we're going to wash, chop onions, carrot, and celery. And instead of using celery, or rather carrot, I actually use sweet potato. I mean, they're fairly interchangeable. So we're supposed to whisk them here on the stove in a little bit of oil. So I just put a tiny bit of oil. You don't have to use a ton of oil. The only thing is you have to cut everything here quite thin if you're going to be, because carrots might be easier to do than sweet potatoes. So we're just going to heat these up a little bit. And just let me get everything in here. So we're going to saute those probably for 5 minutes on sort of, medium high. And preheat the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Now in a large bowl, we're going to combine all the loaf ingredients, okay? So we're going to grab a bowl here. I have one somewhere. Here. Really not that interested in lentil loaf. I'm afraid she gets ripped off around here. Other doggies, get dog scraps from the table and that sort of thing. She doesn't get any of that. Okay, so we're going to basically add, this is the millet and the rice. So we're going to put that in here as best we can. So get that all. So this is the millet and the rice. Right there. I'm just going to put that in the thing. Millet and rice, which is, of course, and this is whole grain rice. And this is amazing for anything. So what we're going to do is now we're going to wash and chop onions in a large bowl and combine all loaf ingredients. So that would include some almonds, 1/4 cup of almonds. So it's really important that the almonds are ground up. You don't want big chunks of almonds. Almonds are awesome. I eat them all the time. They taste good and they're good for you. They're a great snack. And they actually are supposed to reduce sugar cravings. I read that somewhere. Okay, so there, the almonds are going in there. So sometimes you're not sure if it's actually 3/4 of a cup lentils that weren't cooked or these, but no, it calls for this whole amount. So I'm going to put that in here. This is delicious when it's done, and the gravy's incredible. Cornmeal, almonds, and now we're going to put in some thyme. Well, not thyme, tamari. And tamari is really good. It has alcohol in it, which I find interesting. I don't drink, but it doesn't bother me to cook with alcohol because, it burns, when you cook with alcohol, it just burns up into the, it's no longer alcohol, it's just you get the taste of it. Because I cook with red wine vinegar and, I would cook with beer. I don't think that's, even if you don't drink, I don't think it's a problem. We're just going to let that soften up a little bit because they have to soften up. And we're going to put in a tablespoon of tamari. So, of course, my 1 tablespoon measuring cups are never to be found. So there we go. So 1 tablespoon. tamari is really, really great. It's a soy product. It's a 100% soy. Okay, so we're going to put that in there. And now we're going to add the vegetables. So we're going to add the vegetables. Which basically have just had the opportunity to soften up a bit. So adding vegetables, doesn't this look good? Yeah. Yummy. There we go. So we're going to mix that up, and we're just going to add the tiniest bit of oil, because lots of times when they call for oil, you don't even really need that much oil. Just a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. So now we're going to add this here. So we're going to get a really nice big loaf. Doesn't that look great? Full of vegetables and brown rice, and I mean, this is a pretty wholesome dish. Okay, so we're gonna actually put it in the oven for an hour. Okay? And that's at 350. So we're gonna let that cook for an hour. Anyway, so now we're gonna make the gravy. Okay, so we're doing loaf and gravy. Basically, it calls for 1 onion, which we've sliced up, and we're now sauteing on. Do not wash them. So the mushrooms have been sliced. Now we're going to add the mushrooms to this mixture. Okay. And Casa is departing. She's bored. Okay, so lentil loaf. Here, I'm just going to put a little bit of loaf. I don't tend to measure things. I know that it's probably better. And I actually, for this particular recipe, I actually probably measured more than I normally do. So we're going to add water, bring to a boil. So we're going to bring this to a boil now. So we are going to turn this on high, obviously, because we're going to try and boil it. Bring it to a boil. And as soon as we bring it to a boil, we're going to add cornstarch and cold water together until completely smooth. Well, this is starting to boil already, so. But you can see, like, it's makes it an amazing gravy. So we are now going to put that on minimum, and we're just going to let that simmer, and it'll continue to get thicker. We'll taste and see if you like it. I'd say add a little bit more tamari. Let's see how that. We're going to now take out the lentil loaf. It's been 45 minutes, 50 minutes, so it hasn't been quite an hour, but I took a look at it and it looks done to me. So we're going to grab, I'm going to have to get some nice things. So here we go. Come and have a look at this. This is the lentil loaf. Doesn't that look delicious? So there we go. So now we're going to take a nice big taste of this and see how great it is. The only thing, to be honest with you, just looking at it, is I may have sauteed the mushrooms a little bit longer, because they do look like maybe they could have been cooked just a little bit longer, because you don't want, you know, kind of a sort of squishy, sort of raw mushroom. You know, and it could have been done a little bit more, to be honest. But we'll take a bite of the lentil loaf and get a sense of that. But this is whole grain goodness. Doesn't get any more homegrown than this. Let's have a bite. It's delicious. It really is, and it's so wholesome. I mean, it's amazing. It's great.